Hi everybody, it's Armin. Today we're going to be cutting up another hood. This one's for my buddy Marcus. He asked me to do a set of my lightning louvers on his white ND, so these are going to look freaking sick. It's a turbo ND. I went ahead and got a thermal image of beforehand, so when he drove here I went ahead and popped the hood immediately, got some thermal images under the hood. I'm going to show those on the screen now. And what we'll notice is all the heat and how it's distributed under the hood. And after we finish, we'll take it out for a drive as well, because we're also doing some other work on it. And we'll get some more thermal images so we can show the difference and see how much it brings down the temps. Now, these are not specific to a car, so what I've done is I went ahead and measured on the front end. It appears that the best position to start with the actual louvers is going to be about 9 inches in. So I'm going to start the louvers about 8.5 inches up from the front lip, and then we're just going to put them fairly close together. That way they run down both sides of the motor. So let's go ahead and start taping and measuring and seeing how we can line these guys up. Cool, so what I've done here is I went ahead and measured 8.5 inches from the nose up to here. Since the front I'm going to assume is square, I went ahead and put my tape across here. I made 4 marks. I took my tape measure across it, made sure they were all in line. They were. So then I marked the center. So I started with the outer sides. I lined it up with that same set of marks. I marked the center, and then I went 2 inches to each side to start the beginning of the lightning bolts here. Then I taped up the approximate position of all of this stuff. I drew a little line around the end of it, and then I just measured that they were symmetric. And they're both really close to about 12 inches from the end to where this starts. So they're symmetric. I'm gonna go ahead and finish taping up. I'm gonna mark all of my holes, draw my outline. We're gonna drill the holes, and then we're gonna cut out the center. So we've finished with drilling out all the holes. Since all those are done, it's time to actually start cutting. Now the reason that we do the holes before we start cutting the big openings out is because after you cut out the big openings, it's really hard to get the drill bit to grab without wandering, because then you lose all the structure holding up those areas you're trying to drill. It becomes very difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and start cutting. I've got my air grinder. This is an Astra pneumatic, and we're using the Dremel Easy Lock bits. These things are awesome, but it's important to take your time, don't force it. I use this because when you use the electronic Dremel type devices, they get really, really hot in your hands. This thing actually gets cold in your hands because there's a lot of air running through it. And also, it gives you a nice breeze out of the backside where all the air exhausts from. So it's actually really nice. Now I'm gonna put in my Ear Pro, switch over to my non-shaded Eye Pro. No, I'll use these. And then let's get to cutting. Super Miata. Okay, we were all finished with cutting the front side, and I went ahead and deburred all of my drilled holes. Now we need to flip it over and match the cut. So I'll show how we cut. Couple of small details. I did my preliminary cut, and then I wanted to come a little bit farther out on all of those cuts, so I redid them obviously. And then I forgot that on the ND hood, specifically on this one, there is a secondary plate of support right under the top skin, so I had to go back and cut that out as well. So it's kind of in this area, but as you saw, I went back and I cut in this area. So now I'm going to deburr all the back sides of these, and then we're kind of done. I don't know when the camera cut off there. I guess when the sun got in the line, it overheated the camera. Well, either way, just been struggling my ass off with these last, 5 louvers on either side. This is a redesign. This is the V2 where the customer was like, hey, can you add one, can you make more vents on it? And I said, yeah, no problem. So I added 1 louver per each group, and I guess the size is just right where it is like super, super hard to bend the last couple of them. I mean, the first, however many there are here that I've already bent, those weren't terrible. They were a little extra difficult, but these last, I guess, 3 here and 4 over there, they're just killing my thumbs. So I'm taking a small break here to try and give my thumbs a rest. I feel like I'm gonna break my thumbs with how much I'm pushing. But we're just about done. We're gonna get this thing on the car, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut to the part where we're on the car. Louvers are installed on the car. They look freaking sick. Now it's time to go get some thermal images of this thing.